All right, get over here, quick, Deadware. Yeah.
Wow.
So we watched a movie called Last Radio Call.
Yes.
The day before yesterday?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's all blending together.
We might have watched that last night. And we liked the lead actress's performance, and we found out that she starred in another found footage film. Also by the same director as Last Radio Call, and this guy has another film.
Mr. Creeps.
Something like that.
Mr. Creep.
So,
I think.
I don't remember. We'll look it up. But yeah, this one is set in 1999, I think, right? Wasn't it 99?
Yes.
And it is a web call between two people with the best connection 1999's ever seen.
It's crystal.
They it's pixelated and not the greatest quality of film because that's, the way they edited it. But the connection is flawless. There's no breakup in the call
There's
at all.
There's a couple times where they get more pixelated, but I don't think it ever cuts off.
But that's supposed to be that's supposed to be the evil stuff.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't just because their internet connection is slow.
It's because there's only 5 people on the internet in 1999.
Back in 1999, it took about 5 minutes to load a page. Mm-hmm. You're not getting flawless freaking video call. But this was made in 2021, or 2020, so it makes sense. But yeah, so this is about a guy and a girl who are talking to each other over the internet, and they get linked to this game, which was called
House of Hunger.
House of Hunger, that's right, HOH. And she is more of the atheist, occult following, curious one, and he's the Christian. Mm-hmm. He opposes anything occultish or evil or dark. Mm-hmm. And she's forcing him to play by being a woman and just being oh please. And they play this point and click adventure game. So this was just tailored to me. Mm-hmm. I grew up on point and click adventure games. I play them all the time, even to this day. So yeah, that definitely had me sold. This movie runs maybe an hour and 5 to hour 10, something like that.
Super short.
It's pretty short film, maybe even less, might be just an hour. But overall, what'd you think?
I actually was really into this movie. I liked the aesthetic of that they're in this web call on this 99 computer internet browser, and I liked the way that the point and click adventure looked and sort of all of the jump scares and everything that gets revealed. I was pretty into it. I mean, it's not, I think that because of the time period that it's in, that things as far as graphics go, don't the CGI isn't as believable as it is in other movies, but I liked it in the context of the film. And I liked their performances. I think that they, we were kind of talking about how it was filmed because the way that they respond to each other feels really natural. Yeah. So I don't know if they actually recorded them next to each other or I don't know how they accomplished it, but I just think that it flows really nicely.
This was probably shot during COVID, so a lot of people did these types of movies since one was in one place and the other was in the other place, and I was well, let's just do it on a video call. Mm-hmm. But we're going to make it look like it was set in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. So I really liked that, but yeah, I don't know. I was into it. What about you?
Yeah, I liked it. I think that this film is going to be one of those movies where you're going to have to shut off your brain to accuracy of a time period or what was going on computers at that time. It doesn't work in that way. It does it for kind of nostalgia's sake, because they could have made it modern day. I don't honestly know why they did the 99 thing, because it doesn't eliminate cell phones or any thing of why people like to go back, or it's not even in that sweet spot time period that a lot of people love to go back to, like the 80s, right? Because they have a lot of nostalgia for that era. This doesn't really add anything aesthetically or musically or set wise or anything. Like there's nothing in it that is really being utilized as 99 outside of like the computer browser. Yes. And maybe this is in an attempt to hide the budget, right? Which I'm sure is super low. In fact, I think we looked this up and it was like $10,000 or something like that, which is really cool. But yeah, there's no accuracy at all to 99 outside. Some of the game's graphics, right, look that way. And that's what I was saying. Like, the person probably was like, well, I can't do modern graphics, but I can sure as hell make it look like, late 90s graphics, like, like games like The Mist or, 13th Guest and that kind of stuff. The old point-and-click adventure games. So I totally get that. And I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. I'm like, in my head, there was the sequels. There was the 13th, I think it was the 13th Hour and the 7th Guest. Yeah, those are the sequel. Because I was like, wait, it's not the 7th Hour. No, that wouldn't make any sense. It's 13th Hour and the 7th Guest. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. As somebody says, I'm really into point-and-click adventure games. I can't be throwing out wrong titles.
They're like, poser.
Yeah, poser. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, okay? We'll play that. Escape from Monkey Island, okay? I got my point-and-click adventure cred. But yeah, I did like the performance. I think with it being low budget and there being amateurish actors involved, I think they do well. Don't get me wrong. But there are moments in the film where they're noticing something that's been on the screen for 10 minutes. And they're like, wait a minute. And you're like, bro.
Yeah, like
it was literally the first thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Like there's a painting in the background of this scene. And you'll see it because it's in another scene. And then it's not supposed to, or well, it shouldn't be there because it's somewhere else. Right? And you see it and it's like right there in the background.
Yeah.
Big. Like, I don't know, 10-15% of the screen.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, they're like, wait a minute, look at the painting. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you didn't notice that? It literally, right the second it popped up, I was like, Kaylee, oh, look, it's a painting. Like, the literal instant. And I'm watching the movie as a voyeur, right? I'm really just there taking it in. I'm from the comfort of my own home. I'm not like actually engaged in a way where I think I'm going to die or think some curse is on me or whatever. These people are hyper focused, right? They're focused on everything because everything to them could be life or death. So they'd be extremely observant of their surroundings. So the fact that they're pulling up, this is later in the film when things are really going down, they're pulling up screens and they're seeing something on there that is a connection to something that they now are convinced is evil. They're going to notice that even faster than I did.
Yeah.
And for them not to notice it for 10 minutes, I kept being like, okay, they're not mentioning it because it's so obvious and they're just like, oh my God, they're in their head without telling the audience. They're like, wow, okay, there's that painting.
Yeah, but then they bring it up.
And then they bring it up to him. It's like, oh, wait, hey, did you know? And they're like, oh. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
so that kind of stuff definitely took the film down a little bit for me. But for an hour watch, if you're really into like low budget laptop horror kind of found footage style, when you don't want to question things too much and you're just there for the fun and you can go along for the ride they're taking you on, I think this is a cool one.
Yeah.
I did quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree.
But man, there's some believability issues for sure.
There is.
And that is not a budget issue.
No.
Don't even try to tell me that's a budget issue. Maybe, now, I could see them, because this is an all-in-one take, right? Like, they're reacting to footage on the screen. That doesn't mean they're seeing the footage. right? It's in the script, I'm sure, where they don't even see that third screen, and they probably didn't even see the computer game graphics when it was happening. So they don't know that those,
that could be.
you know, maybe they never even saw the painting in the game, but they see it in the background, and then the director, like 10 minutes into their scene, is like, oh, hey, you're going to notice this, and they're probably like, why didn't we notice it before? Sure. You know, so that's possible, but man, there's scenes like that, or it's just kind of just taken out. But anyways, that's that. It's on Tubi, of course.
Tubi.
Tubi. That's all I can say. Tubi, send me some money. All right, moving on.
Bye.
Bye.